What's up, Meta Nerds? This video is all about the HK series developed by the Separatists during the Clone Wars, HK-77. If you watched the video on the HK-B3, you know that the Trade Federation had been using a hunter-killer droid variant decades before the Battle of Naboo, and that all of the HKs were inspired by the great HK-47 of the Old Republic era. This HK-77 assassin droid is considered the pinnacle of the HK line, and was developed directly from the original HK-47's thought matrix. The remains of this infamous droid were found nearly 4,000 years after the Jedi Civil War, being discovered by Separatist scientists on the lava world of Mustafar. He was inside of a Hammerhead-class cruiser that had crashed there and been swallowed up by tectonic shifts that essentially turned a valley into a rocky tomb. When the planet shifted again, this treasure was revealed, and the best droid engineers of the CIS were employed to study this ancient killing machine. Upon 47's reactivation, he easily killed 3 B-2 super battle droids and then a droideka before the engineers could power him down via a restraining bolt. Despite their best efforts, they couldn't figure out a way to perform a memory wipe due to the incredibly complex nature of his AI. Instead, they just transferred the matrix into the cruiser's computer systems and took the empty droid chassis to reverse engineer it at a facility on Mustafar. A small army of these new droids were set to be produced and dubbed the HK-77. Like the earlier HK-B3, its body was made of quadanium steel, the same stuff that protects the turbo lasers on the Death Star. Its mind was as close to 47's as they could make it, but with a little more obedience, and I would assume a lot less personality. The main difference was the shape of the head and the weaponry. Its head has these wider photoreceptor sockets, and a more elongated processor casing, perhaps the result of the reverse engineering tech being less efficient than the original Old Republic era stuff. And the armament is these 2 built-in blaster arms. The design choice is representative of a lot of the CIS's more advanced droid units, with things like droidekas and B-2s all having built-in weapon systems. This was done with the 77, as it was expected to serve as an elite droid assassin unit in the Clone Wars. There were assault droid designations and squad leaders, and the whole idea was that small HK-77 strike teams would eliminate the most elusive individuals, while other specialized units like commando droids might be tasked more with capturing or sabotaging Republic bases. At 19,865 credits, they were more than 10 times the cost of a B-1, close to the earlier HK-B3, but still less than a droideka. Expensive, but not bad considering how highly specialized it was, and that it was being heralded as the pinnacle of the HK line. The only problem was that the CIS had barely made more than a couple test models before Darth Vader cut through the Separatist leadership. Palpatine's need to keep up a droid army was gone, so the newly released 77s just sat deactivated at their facility. They would have never seen the light of day if it wasn't for HK-47's heroic return. He was able to contact a group of spacers via the Hammerhead ship computer prison that the Separatists had confined him to. This was in the year 1.5 ABY, and the spacers were convinced to help this AI take control of a droid research facility on Mustafar, and then even the droid factory. The spacers had to fight through ranks of AK-1As, AK-3s, and GK-5s that were all protecting this facility. Once cleared, HK-47 was able to take control of this plant and get himself a new body, before betraying the spacers and raising a new droid army. This included more of those guard droids, but added a bunch of HK-77s, HK-58s Auric and Besh, several HK Taskmasters, and even a force pike-wielding CYM prototype, and the deadly spider droid variant known as the Doombringer. The fight was difficult, but all of the droids were eventually destroyed. The 77 line was finished, and though it appeared that 47 had finally met his end, it is believed that though the new chassis was destroyed on Mustafar, the old droid's mental matrix was able to live on, surely looking for a new body capable of slaying meatbags. So that's it for its history, but you definitely want to hear these cool facts and behind-the-scenes stuff. It was first introduced in the game Star Wars Galaxy's Trials of Obi-Wan, and was expanded upon in the Scavenger's Guide to Droids and the Complete Encyclopedia. But what are your thoughts on this droid? Do you feel like the addition of built-in weapon arms makes it a better hunter-killer, or worse? And how does that affect how you would rank it compared to the commando droids, and even the earlier HK-B3? Definitely let me know in the comments down below. But that's it for this Separatist-created HK-77. If you want to connect with us, help support the channel, or get your own copies of the reference materials used to make these videos, be sure to check out the links in the description. Special shout out to our supporters over on Patreon, but most important of all, remember, No matter what era you're in, you can always manipulate meat bags, and the Force will be with you, always.